Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Anand and you're watching Physics Craze. If you are new on my channel, then don't forget to subscribe the channel because I upload and I take a live sessions of new lectures regularly. Don't forget to press the bell icon so that you will get notified every time I upload a new video or I'll take a new live session. So without wasting too much time, let's get started. So if you are watching this video directly, so my suggestion is there, you just watch the video that the link is blinking on the I button here, you can see above. Just watch this session and after that come to this video, because if you haven't watched that session, so you will not gonna understand what I'm going to explain here. We're gonna find the electric field when we have a dielectric sphere which is uniformly polarized. So previously we have discussed that our polarization, if it is a function of r, so what we say, we directly write E outside of the sphere or cylinder, directly we write 0. It was the case we have discussed in my previous session. So here the polarization would not be a function of r, will not get here polarization as a function of r. Instead, we'll have polarization in some particular direction with some constant value. Let's consider P naught K cap, or we can also say P naught J cap. I'm just taking an example. Okay, we can have 3 P naught to P naught by 2, whatever constant value, but the direction of this polarization will be in a particular direction, I cap, J cap or K cap. What does it mean? So for this instant I'm just taking the polarization is in K cap only. So let us assume we have polarization in K cap only. Okay, what does it mean? It means if we just calculate rho b and sigma b, rho b which is called volume charge density, volume bound charge density, we'll get, see, the formula is minus del dot p, and if you'll do the required mathematics, you will see that it will come up to 0. You just do, because this is the form of differentiation, and whenever we differentiate a constant value we always get 0. So here in this case what is giving, it is giving that we will never gonna have any volume charge. So here the volume charge will be 0 in the sphere. Now what about surface charge density? Surface charge density is given by P dot n cap. So here our polarization is in K cap. Okay, so at any point here, let's consider from the z axis, let me just rub this. So from the z axis, if I just take this point, so I can say that this angle is theta and this direction is r cap. This direction is r cap. Okay, I'm taking any point. You can also take any point. I'm taking this point as my convenience. So what I can write this as P naught and K cap dot r cap. What I can write, K cap dot r cap. So if this angle is theta, so I can also show this angle also to be theta, and this is my K cap direction. And we know that these both are unit vectors, so the magnitude of both will be 1, but here we have dot product. So what I can write P naught cos theta, because in dot product we always write magnitude into cos theta. These both have magnitude 1. So what we are getting now, guys, we are getting sigma b as P naught cos theta. It means it is dependent on this theta, and this theta is measured from what? Z axis. Now what I can say, if I need to express my charges on the surface, because we have rho as 0, it means there will be no charge inside the sphere. We will only gonna have charges on the surface, and this charges is dependent on theta. So if theta is 0, we will have some positive charge which is maximum, and we know that at theta equals to pi by 2, cos theta is 0, it means there will be no charge. So how can I represent my charge distribution? See, here if I just consider this is my plane, a single plane, so here I can say on the y-axis and on the x-axis the angle will be theta equals to 90 degree. So every point every point on the surface which is lying in the xy plane, what I can say, which is lying in the xy plane like this, sorry, like this. So every point it is a 3D surface. Okay, I cannot show a 3D surface here, that's why I am trying to assume you that on the xy plane if we'll have a ring, so on the all points on this ring we'll have zero charge density. What we'll have, sigma b equals to 0, because at all points we'll have theta equals to 90 degree, and on this upper point we'll have maximum positive charges, and similarly the charges will vanish at theta equals to 90 degree. And for lower hemisphere we will have the same distribution, but now we'll have negative charges here. What we'll have negative charges. So see, in case of uniform polarization we'll have our charge distribution which is not uniform. Okay, so we cannot say that it is a symmetric case. So what we can say it is a non-symmetric case. And for non-symmetric case we cannot use Gauss law to calculate electric field, because E cannot be taken outside of the integration. So there is a analogy, or we can say special method to solve this kind of question where we have uniform polarization. So let's move ahead, how we'll gonna solve and how we gonna find E inside and E outside for this kind of questions. So to find electric field in this kind of cases we'll use some analogy. And one thing we should always have in mind, that if we are using an analogy, so that analogy should not violate the real case. It means whatever analogy we are using, it should not have different representation as in our real case. So what is our real case? Here we have a sphere, and here this plane is here where we have theta equals to 90. So in the plane we had maximum positive charge here on the upper side, and as we go down the charge distribution was decreasing, and at last at this all points the charge distribution was 0. So similarly we can show on the right hand side also the charge distribution was decreasing. Similarly on the lower hemisphere we will have more negative charge here, and as we go up the charge density was decreasing, and at last it is 0 at theta equals to 90 degree. Now what I am gonna do, see, here inside rho b is 0, we know we have only surface charges. So I am just considering two whole spheres, okay, two solid spheres. Here we have positive charges on this sphere, we have all the positive charges inside the volume. It means rho equals to constant. Here we have rho equals to constant which is positive, and here I have negative charges sphere. I have a sphere, solid sphere which has negative charges. Here also rho is constant. Now I am gonna merge both of these sphere. I am gonna merge this sphere in the downward side and this sphere in the upward side. What will happen? I am just assuming it, okay, it is not feasible, it is not physically possible. We just have to use some analogy to solve our question. So let us consider we just merge it. Now when I'll merge it, see, when I'll merge it like this, these positive charges will neutralizes the negative charges. These negative and positive charges will get neutralized, and we'll have rho equals to 0 inside. But one thing also we have to take care, that the charge distribution on the surface should be like this. It means we should have more positive charge on the upper side and more negative charge on the lower side, and as we go down the charge density should decrease. So how we're gonna do that? We're gonna merge this both sphere like this. See, let us consider this is my positive sphere and this is my negative sphere having negative charges. So I can merge this sphere like this. I know this is not the best representation, but just consider it. This is my plane. Here you can see we have thickness 0. At this 2 point thickness is 0. Thickness is 0. So what I can say, at these all points the thickness will be 0 and the charges will neutralize. So what we can say here, charge distribution will be 0. At all points the charge distribution will be 0. And on the upper side if you will see, we have more thickness on the upward side, and as we go down the thickness will decrease, okay, on the both side. So if thickness is decreasing, it means charge density is decreasing. So I can represent this as like this. The charge density is decreasing as we go down. Similarly, on the lower hemisphere, we can say the thickness here is more. So I can say that these negative charges will be more here, and as we go up, the density will decrease because of thickness is decreasing. So see, we have just converted our analogy to the real case that we had. Here also we had the more charges on the upward side and downward side, and as we go away from the point, we have the charge density which is decreasing, and we have just made this analogy as like a real case. Now how we'll gonna proceed to calculate E inside and E outside? The main question is that how we'll gonna calculate E outside and E inside for this case. So see, we have used an analogy. Now what I'll gonna do, just focus on that. Now here what I can consider, what I have considered that we have merged two sphere. Okay, so this two sphere will have some center. So let us consider this is the center of positive sphere. I'm just considering, okay, not to scale, you just have to assume this, and this is the point where we had center of negative sphere. So we have to find, now let us consider, we have to find E inside. So E inside, for E inside, let us take any point here. I'm just taking a point here. Let us name this point as A. So what I can do, I can just draw a position vector from the positive center. Here I can show this as positive center, and I am writing this position vector as, see here, I am writing this position vector as R plus. Similarly, from the center of negative sphere, I can draw the position vector here, and I can show it is as R minus. Now there will be some space between two centers, and I am representing that space as D vector. What I am representing as D vector. Now these spheres, these centers of sphere can represent the whole charge, as we know that a sphere can be represented by a point charge at its center from very large distance. So what we can say, here we have positive charge center and here we have negative charge center. So it is representing like a dipole. It is representing like a dipole. But in this triangle, using triangle of addition, what I can write? I can write D vector plus R positive vector equals to R negative vector, and D vector can be written as R negative vector minus R positive vector. Okay, just consider this. This is very important. Stay focused, guys. Okay, now what we have to find, the main thing we had to find is E inside. What is the value of E inside? So I can write E inside will be due to both of these spheres, positive sphere and negative sphere also. So what I can write here, E inside is equals to electric field due to positive sphere, the sphere which has positive charge density, plus, and I am writing in vector form, okay, plus E due to negative charge density sphere. Okay, now we know that if we have, I am just roughing it, we just need this result only. D vector is equals to R negative vector plus R positive vector. Okay, R positive vector. Now see here, electric field we are calculating inside because of the both sphere, and we know that E inside is given by rho by 3 epsilon naught R vector. This is the general formula we have done. Here on the I button you will get how we have calculated this. You can click on that and check this video also. Now we will going to write the electric field due to positive sphere and negative sphere. So what I can write here, due to positive sphere the position vector is R plus, so I can write, and we have taken rho as constant. See, we have taken rho as constant for both of these spheres. Okay, so I can write rho by 3 epsilon naught R positive vector, and due to negative sphere we have to write a negative rho. We have to write negative rho in case of vector calculation. So I can write here as rho by 3 epsilon naught R negative vector, because this is the distance from the center of negative charge, and this can be written as rho by 3 epsilon naught taken as outside, and inside we'll get R positive minus R negative. So from this result, see, from this result what we can say, sorry, I have written wrong here, it was negative. Okay, so from this result what I can write E inside. What I can write E inside as minus rho by 3 epsilon naught D vector. I can write E inside as minus rho by 3 epsilon naught D vector. Okay, so now in our analogy we have considered rho and D. We have considered at own rho and D. So to find the answer we need to eliminate these two values. Now how I'll gonna do that? See, E inside what we got minus rho D by epsilon naught, 3 epsilon naught. Now I'm gonna multiply it by volume of sphere. So I'm just writing here rho minus rho into volume. This is D vector divided by 3 epsilon naught into volume. I have just multiplied. Now we can say that this rho into volume, as we know, rho into volume, rho equals to total charge divided by volume. So I can write charge as rho into volume. See, so here at the place of rho into volume, what I can write minus q into D vector divided by 3 epsilon naught into volume. Again q is not given, we have just considered it, so it means we have to eliminate it. But here one thing we have given, that this will generate some dipole moment, and here I can say if the net charge is q, so the dipole moment is given by q into D vector. I can write this, the net dipole moment which is generated because of the merging, it will be equals to q into D vector. So I can write this q into D vector as the net dipole generated inside the sphere. I told you that if you want to understand this concept, you have to watch the videos which is given in I button. So please go and watch it, because you will not gonna understand any concept if you haven't watched that videos. So here I can see this total dipole moment divided by volume can be written as polarization vector. We all have studied this. This can be written as polarization vector, and our answer will be, see, this much. This total dipole moment divided by volume, we can write it as capital P vector, which is polarization. And in our concept, in our question, we have given the polarization. So what we have done, we have converted our question using an analogy, and we have got the result with the given value what we have given in the question. So E inside will always be minus polarization divided by 3 epsilon naught. It means if we want to show the electric field, if my polarization is in k cap direction, we have taken k cap, so my electric field will be in opposite direction. And this is also we can see from the diagram, here we had positive charges and here we had negative charges, so the electric field will be from positive to negative, but the magnitude of that electric field will be this much, minus P vector, which is polarization vector, divided by 3 epsilon naught. Okay, now what will be the value of E outside? So for E outside, we can directly say that it is making a dipole inside the sphere. Okay, it is having some net dipole. So what we can do, we can just say that E out will be same as electric field due to dipole. It means we can directly use the result. It means we can directly use the electric field due to dipole to find the outside electric field. In most of the question, you will only gonna have question which is asking to calculate inside electric field. So this is very important result, you must remember. And in 2019 I guess, or 2018, it is asked in JEST or TFR also. So you must remember this result, which is we have calculated under uniformly polarized dielectric sphere. So that's it for today guys. I hope you have understand. Please tell me in the comments which section you didn't have understand, so I'll continue that section in my live session. I'll try to explain it. Thank you guys for watching my video till the end. We'll meet in the next one. Till then, best of luck and take care.